You see it? It's your boy, Solo Dolo. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Getaway podcast with Tony and Sean. I am Sean. Tony has some things to do. Jeff has some things to do. But the show must go on. Always got to do the heavy lift. The stars always show up, Tone. Yo, ask me how I'm doing. I'm doing good. Ask me what's going on. Sunshine and tacos. Sunshine and tacos. Whoo! We'll see if your boy can get it done. Huh? If you must know, this is the third attempt. Technical difficulties cut me off at 45 minutes and about 15 minutes the second try. I'm good and lathered up. I got a butter going. And it's hard keeping this juice. I'm telling you, son. Well, welcome back, man. Look, we're going to talk about college football. We're going to talk about boxing. We're going to talk about the Rona. We're going to talk about Christmas today. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. A wide range of things. But let's start it off with my Fighting Irish. You see it? Oh, and a boom and an explosion. You see it and you hear it. The claps. According to Tony, we call that the claps. My Irish 10-0 after properly beating down Syracuse the way they should be properly beat down. And after a year of getting a conference. Huh? Now in the championship game after beating Clemson, they are the top dog in the ACC regular season. We'll face Clemson again. Rubber match. The ACC championship game. And they will have Trevor, Sunshine Lawrence, all those defensive players and whatnot. All those guys will be back. Dabo feels better after getting it off his chest how Florida State was ducking him. Ain't nobody ducking you, Dabo. Focus on the Irish. BYOGs is saying, bring your own guts. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Go Irish. I'm so excited, man. Ian Book is now the winningest quarterback in the history of Notre Dame football. I would have been wrong if you would have asked me. I would have estimated or guesstimated that Joe Montana or Rick Meyer would have had more wins. He's number 2 in win percentage. Number 3 is Tony Rice from the late 80s Irish team. Those are the teams that made me love Notre Dame. When I first saw them, it was them playing USC in the Coliseum in 87, and Tony Rice was the quarterback, and he was running that triple option and slaughtering the Trojans. Woo, slaughtering. So that's what made me love them. And I became a big fan. My Irish have done what they were supposed to do. They've overcome in the pandemic and dealing with the coronavirus. They had an outbreak earlier in the season. They had a blip on the radar when they played Louisville. And they didn't start off explosive on offense. All of those things have changed. So they are currently number 2, according to the College Football Playoff Committee, behind Alabama. Rightfully so. I said all year that they maybe shouldn't be ranked that high. But after the Clemson win, and after Ohio State had their scare with Indiana. They're not scared, but test from Indiana, properly ranked. Number 3 is Ohio State. Number 4 is Clemson. And rounding out the top 5, 6, 7 is A&M, Florida, Cincinnati, all of those. Right? So I was banging the drum for Liberty. They're out. They lost. People were banging the drum for BYU. They're out. They lost. They lost to Coastal Carolina's Chanticleers, if I'm saying that right. And it was a last-minute schedule. Team had to back out. Liberty had to back out of that Coastal Carolina game because of coronavirus. So they scheduled it last minute. I want to say on a Tuesday. Got all that coordinated and worked out. BYU made the trip to Myrtle Beach, and it was one hell of a game. It was the best game of the weekend, in my opinion. 2 ranked teams, both undefeated, and one with a lot to prove coming out of the Sun Belt, and another one with something to prove because they felt like they might have been ranked too low in the initial and second college football playoff ranking. And it was a physical game. BYU, I watched them earlier a couple times, and they are really, really physical. They like to beat you up in the trenches, both sides of the ball. Big, tough, physical guys. They've got a potential top 5 as far as ranked quarterbacks coming out. Not saying top 5 pick, top 5 in quarterbacks in Wilson. And they show up, and it's on. Coastal Carolina is not scared, right? They are playing them tough. They are jumping on them, and they are bullying the bullies. And nothing worse than when a bully gets bullied because, they kind of give up. But BYU didn't give up. I want to point out how chippy it was. It was chippy all first half. And right at the end of the first half, Wilson throws an interception. Coastal Carolina defender sees the interception and goes to seek him out to block him. 2 hands on him, driving his feet. An additional defender, now on offense, comes up and blocks him as well. They bury his butt. I love it. I love it. Right on the edge, right, of nastiness. They proceed to bury him. He gets up. What do? They bury him again. Almost started a brawl. Benches were cleared because it was the end of the half, and it was on. It was chippy the rest of the game. And Coastal Carolina had taken the lead, and with seconds left, Wilson completes a pass to the BYU receiver, and he proceeds to get tackled at about the 1-yard line. As time expires, Coastal Carolina wins. I say they should continue to play these matchups every year because they don't like each other. They had printed out shirts, something similar to the Notre Dame Miami game, Catholics versus convicts. This one was Mormons versus mullets because they're growing mullets out at Coastal Carolina. I love it. Selling shirts. They sold 25 right away, sold out in hours. Sold over 200 of them. I love it. I also love the fact that Coastal Carolina starting center's 5'9". Big boy getting it done. He's my height, getting after it. Division I football, undefeated, ranked team. Huh? Best game of the weekend. Will they have a shot to get in? I don't know. A lot of wacky things got to happen. What they got to hope for is a Michigan win. They got to hope for Notre Dame to win. And they got to hope for Alabama to win. That way, Florida has a loss. Get Ohio State out of there with a loss. Clemson will have 2 losses. That frees up 2 spots. Possibly for UC, Coastal Carolina, right? Texas A&M might slide into one of those spots. So a lot of things have to happen for them to get in. How I don't know how Texas A&M could get in. It's just they've got a long way to go. But it'll play out. We'll see how it works. And keep me up with the host of the show, their teams, and what they did this weekend. Ohio State played Michigan State, team to beat Michigan. First-year head coach Mel Tucker with a backup quarterback, and they dominated them. Properly beat down like they should beat them down. Expect nothing less. Cover the spread. Even that, hey, you can cover the spread. Nothing new, right? What we saw was what we always see from them. Death by 1,000 cuts, and it was even more explosive this week. Well, let's point out one play. First off, shout out to interim head coach Larry Johnson, first black coach at Ohio State. I'm going to give him the claps. Huh? But I want to shout out a play that I watched. It was a zone read. Justin Fields had given the ball to the running back, Sermon. Sermon went off to the right-hand side and up the field. He breaks away on a long run. And then in the back, you can see Justin Fields make a decision to get on his high horse to make a play. He sprinted downfield chasing that play, caught up with the DB that was trying to tackle the running back, and made a block right as he was crossing the goal line. Was the block necessary for him to score? I don't think so. But it's a play that the coaches will show in the meeting room this week if they haven't already showed it. The guys already know it's coming. You're arguably your best player, potential second quarterback to go in the draft. He's hustling downfield in a play that doesn't even matter. That touchdown, it wasn't going to decide the game for Ohio State. Understand me? That play was not going to look. They had made plays before, and they were going to make many plays after. He had no business doing that, except for the love of the game and wanting to help a teammate. That's effort, and you can't knock effort. As a coach, a former player, and a football fan, I love those kinds of effort plays. I love it. And I'm going to shout him out, and I'm going to give him the claps. Shout out Justin Fields. High school coaches will show that to their players. This guy is the number 2 dude coming out. Number 2 quarterback coming out, and he's hustling like that. And guess what, Johnny? You can do the same. Good on him. I love it. I love it. And then, look, that was a tune-up. They were without their head coach and like 3 offensive linemen. And, you know, beat them down. Y'all see Eva walking back and forth? All up in the video. But that was a tune-up for the Michigan game. Michigan did not play due to COVID issues. And hopefully the guys that are healthy and the coaches that are healthy or whatever are getting some reps in so they can prepare for this beatdown that's coming their way. It's coming. It's coming. And hopefully they don't wave the white flag and try to screw Ohio State because it's Ohio State. But Barry Alvarez even mentioned, look, if Ohio State doesn't qualify, get enough games played per Big Ten rules to qualify for the championship game, then they need to make the exception because they are the flagship team. With that record, that ranking, they need to be in so they can get into the college football playoff, so they can represent the league. They need to make the exception if Michigan wants to play those games. I hope they don't. Because I want to see head coach Ryan Day honor his word and hang 100 on Harbaugh's head. I cannot wait. I can't wait. The spread is already 30. The largest spread since 1952. And I think, personally, if he can't get to 100, at least double the spread. 60. Give me 60. Beat him down. Eva wants to make a bet with Jeff. Jeff, you listening? Eva says she wants to bet you straight up. No points given because it's a rivalry game. Straight up for a can of popcorn. Chicago style said. Speaking of popcorn, where's our popcorn? Can I get a tracking number? Can we get it before the game this week? We would love to watch it while watching the game, right? Yeah, we would like to watch it. Watch the game and enjoy the Garrett's popcorn. I'm still waiting to get confirmation from the owner of Garrett's whether or not they're going to advertise with the podcast. Yeah, but Jeff, we need that popcorn, son. Don't hold it for a Christmas gift. We'd like to have it for the game. It's all good. Oh, it's that time. Guess what? If you go to the YouTube page to watch the video of the podcast, while you're there, hit that subscribe button for us. Like it, share it, comment, engage with us. We love it when you do that. That button there. Okay? Now look, we will respond. I promise you, I know I will. Those other two, they're not as technically savvy as I am, so I know I will. But we had somebody respond last week in regards to episode 21, properly named Primetime, Deion Sanders. My first time watching y'all podcast, and it's clickbait. Come on, man. This is from the Mellow Man on YouTube. He edited his comment also. So my reply was, and you couldn't post without an edit, we see. What number did Prime wear? Obviously 21. Maybe you can figure out the names that are associated with the episode numbers. If you think we had Kobe Bryant on for episode 8, check the date, then maybe you shouldn't play on the internet without supervision. LOL. Thanks for watching, though. Hit that subscribe button, too. Next week, we may name it Emmitt Smith. Hashtag say word, son. Look, if you go to the page and you see we got 52 subscribers and we're only 21 episodes deep, we aren't huge. We don't have 10,000 followers and likes and all these comments. How the hell do you think we had Deion Sanders on the show? Dummy. My man watched the whole podcast. Shout out to him, Mellow Man. His response to me was, why are y'all in your feeling? He misspelled it again. He did left the S off. I searched for Deion Sanders, find a podcast titled Primetime. Can you see where the confusion would come from and why someone would label it as clickbait? Doesn't edit matter? This is the new paragraph. Doesn't edit matter? I'd rather edit a typo than leave it if I know it's there. Come on, man. Y'all cool guys, though. That's what he said. I liked all his comments. And then his quick response after that was, be reasonable with me, brothers, because you know what? He must have known I was going to talk about him on a podcast. I'll tag him when we post it. And it's all good, man. We're just having fun with you. We had Warren Sapp lined up, but he backed out. And we did. I had him all queued up on Twitter. Back and forth. Backed out. But we like it when you engage. Keep on doing that. Keep on sharing it. If my 81-year-old mother can do it, she shared it with her hairdresser and doctor's office and whoever else, you can too. I even created a skill on Alexa enabled devices. You have to enable it on your Echo Dot, Echo Show, whatever. And then say, Alexa, play the Getaway podcast with Tony and Sean. And she'll go, here's the Getaway podcast with Tony and Sean. You know how it works. There's a lot of ways to do it. Anywhere you can find podcasts, you can find us. Just about. We're working on some other things. We got some other things in the fryer. All right. Shout out to A9 Radio, DJ Swig, Stephen Rose, Mr. 937, A9 Radio 937.com. They have taken the next step. Going to have a radio station, 88.7 in the Dayton area. Shout out to them dudes, man. Huh? Give them the claps. That's big. And my man Swig said he's going to put us on. He's going to have the pod on his radio station. We're going to get a segment. That's love right there. We appreciate that. Brothers helping brothers. I want to talk about what we argued here. We've argued this a few times on the podcast about which conference in football is better. We know the Pac-12, they're not in discussion. The group of five, not in discussion. You got Big Ten, Pac-12, ACC, SEC. And my guys tried to tell me that the Big Ten was better than the ACC. And I banged the drum because Indiana had won that game against Penn State when they were ranked number 8 in the country. And my dudes were hanging their hat on Indiana. And I said, you're hanging your hat on a basketball school. And as the season progressed, we proceed to find out that Penn State's terrible. That was a surprise. We find out that Michigan may be worse. That's even a surprise. We knew what Michigan State was going to happen to them when that coach left, when D'Antoni left. We knew the cupboard was bare with all the sexual abuse and all those allegations and lawsuits. We knew all that was happening, and it was going to be a rebuild. Wisconsin has a freshman quarterback. Might be a little bit of a struggle. So your flagship programs are in trouble. And there's only one that's carrying the flag. And this one has always carried the flag. Only one other team has made the college football playoff out of that conference, and that's Michigan State, and they got drubbed by Alabama. And then they try to tell me that it's better than the ACC, who's had Florida State, who's won it in the 2000s. Clemson's won it. They've beaten Blue Bloods on the way to winning it and have beaten Blue Blood winning it. Notre Dame's been in the college football playoff. They're a Blue Blood. I'm counting them because they're in the conference this year. Miami, historically, great. They're turning it around. North Carolina will hang 50 on you if you let them. They've got 2 1,000-yard receivers and 2 1,000-yard rushers. Virginia Tech will beat you if you let them. North Carolina State has been surprisingly good. And for a while there this season, Big Ten fans were hanging their hat, obviously on Ohio State. They were hanging their hat on a basketball to Indiana. And then to round out, to say 5, just to get 5, to round out the 5, you were using Purdue, Northwestern, and Wisconsin. And that was with Wisconsin being 1-0. That's what you were hanging your hat on, Big Ten fans. And then if you look at the Big Ten now, it's just Ohio State and Indiana. All those other schools have taken losses and not good losses. So once again, I'm going to give myself claps because I was right. And then I give myself an explosion because I was right when arguing with Tony and Jeff. Season's over. There's 1 week left for you guys in the Big Ten and then championship game. I was right. I should make Tony send me some popcorn too for being right. Huh? I'm always right. No, I'm not always right. I'm just joking. But I was right with them jokers when I banged the drum and I made a commercial on it and they told me, calm down. Does anybody know how to make the podcast, Sean? Don't blood pressure get high. And just because you're young don't mean you're right. Yes, it does, Jeff. Yes, it does. All right. Hey, and I'm the only one who can give myself the claps. You guys can't give yourself the claps. I give myself the claps. I'm just saying. All right. So, and look, boxing. Who watched the fight? What you think of the fight? I'll tell you what I think. Oh, Mama Sita's giving thumbs down. I'll tell you something. Errol Spence did what he's supposed to do. 15 months removed from an accident where he was ejected from a vehicle. he came in and he looked better than he did before. He ramped it up every round, except for one round later in the fight. The first half of the round, he took a little bit off, and Garcia got a couple shots in, and he's like, you know what? Never mind. Back to business. And proceeded to beat that dude's face up. Face is all red and swollen, eyes swollen. And Garcia does this in every big fight that he's in since he lost the belt, right? We watched him fight Keith Thurman. We watched him fight Shawn Porter, and now Errol Spence Jr. And what he does in all of these fights, if we get the big build up for a good fight, right? Get this big build up, Danny Garcia. And he comes out and he gives you just enough to not get hurt, to not get knocked out, and to make it to where it's not obvious that he's losing the round. But he's losing them. Go to the corner, you listen to his dad. Come on, let's go. You got to go. Pick it up. Rah, 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 rah. He doesn't do it. You know why he can't? Sometimes boxers reach a plateau and they no longer get better. Sometimes they get there. A lot of times they do is they make a change in their trainer. And it's hard to make that change when it's your daddy. It's happened, but it's hard to cut that tie. And that may be what needs to happen because he cannot ramp it up. In the 12th round, the last 30 seconds, you saw him exchange with fire, where he like wanted to connect him and he wanted to hit him. He was trying to counterpunch him the whole fight. We do that every time, man. Look, promoters, I do not want to see him fight again. Okay? Errol Spence Jr. did his thing. Good for him. I'm glad he bounced back, right? And we know what's going to come next. This is why I don't like boxing. Sometimes I love boxing. This is why I don't like the politics of boxing. I think the next fight for Errol Spence Jr. is going to be a rematch with Shawn Porter out of Cleveland. When it should be, it probably won't be because of promoters and can't get along and nobody wants to sit down and talk the talk and who gets the lion's share and whatnot. It should be with Terrence Bud Crawford. And let me tell you something. Errol Spence don't want them problems. Errol Spence does not want them problems with Bud. Have you seen Terrence Bud Crawford fight? You ever see a dude get in a fight and be mad in a fight? And you're like, what are you getting mad for? It's already in a fight. He gets mad when he's fighting and it looks like it's different. It looks like he's mad and he can do something about it. Most times you get mad, you're already in a fight. You can't do nothing about it. You're fighting already. But when he gets mad, man, or if he don't like you, I've seen him fight dudes where he could knock them out early, finish it. I've seen him take him into deep water just so he could beat him up. This is the same man who, as a kid, his mom used to throw him out in the front yard and tell the little boys in the neighborhood, if you can beat him up, I'll give you $10. Guess who came walking back in the house without getting beat up? Bud Crawford. Errol Spence Jr. don't want them problems, Mamacita. Nope. He's one of my favorites. You know who else we got coming up? Mamacita's favorite. Canelo. I used to be a Canelo fan. I did. Until he tested positive for steroids and claimed it was from eating bad meat in Mexico. I mean, if you have one steak and it's got steroids in it, it's not going to produce anything, I don't believe. That gets out of your system so quick and it's so small. And if it was so small, you would be like, yeah, you know what? That could be. Oh, my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Getaway Podcast with Tony and Sean. I am Solo Dolo today. Hit that subscribe button right there. When you go to YouTube page, like, share, comment, engage with us. We love it when you do. You heard the story. Back to Canelo. I was a fan. The left hooks to the liver. dropping people with body shots. I was a fan. Redhead Mexican brother, paisano. Steroids and meat. Floyd beat him up, made it look easy. I don't like what he did to Danny Jacobs. Floyd beat him down. And then I don't like what he did to how they did Triple G when they fought. That first fight was not a draw. Triple G beat him down. Did whatever he wanted. Moved him all over the ring. Controlled the fight. Start to finish. Draw. Second fight. The rematch. It was closer than the first fight. I still felt like Triple G won. Should have been a draw. If you got to make it a draw, can't decide, make it a draw. But it wasn't no Canelo win. So that's why I don't like him no more. So whoever he's fighting, that's who I'm rooting for. They're going to lose. But he's the best. He's the best in that division. Maybe. I love boxing. Man. What a weekend. I'm just saying, like, I want to tell my guys, Tony and Jeff, this solo thing is not easy, right? Like I said, I had technical difficulties, did 45 minutes, cut off, 15 minutes, cut off. But I'm lathered up, man. I got stuff to talk about, son. I want to talk about the current situation that we're dealing with. COVID, all this other stuff happening. Let me tell you something, man. I want to go back to the movie theater. I miss going to the movies. We miss going to the movies. We like going to the movies, getting a big old thing of popcorn. Sometimes she gets the loud nachos and eats them in there. And I'm like looking around like, how are people not upset that she's crunching these nachos? But that's what we do. We get the big soda, right? Big soda. So big that she can't carry it. I got to carry it. And that's all right. I like the antics. We go in there and we mess with people. I tell people to stop, get off their phone. Remember that? Yeah. We went to see La Llorona. And when that lady scared the heck out of me, I stood up and said, it's time to go. In the middle of the movie. I had the popcorn in my pop. I was like, let's go. Scared me. Right? I was going to leave you. But I want to get back to the movie theater. Warner Brothers is going to release all their 2021 movies to HBO Max and to select movie theaters so people can enjoy them. Some theaters are still open. But when they go to HBO Max, they're going to release all of 2021 for 30 days. And I love it. That's what you should be doing. Helping out with entertainment during these trying times. You can't go nowhere. You can't go out to eat. You can't go to the movies. You can't go to the beaches. You can't go to the clubs. You can't go to the bars. All these things all been restricted for the most part. Some places you can still do that. That's why I say, man, look, mask up, man. Help us out. This isn't a sissy thing. This isn't a look soft thing. And it definitely ain't no political thing. This is about taking care of others. Look, nobody's asking you to wear it when you walking by yourself, riding in the car, sitting in your crib. But if you come in contact with people, going to these businesses that you claim that you want to support these businesses, and the requirement is to wear a mask, then put a mask on for a second. Throw it in, grab your stuff and leave. When I go to my car, I don't wear a mask. I'm not driving with a mask on. You can go for a walk in the park. No mask. I see it every day. But to complain when the numbers are going up, and the experts, stop with the political stuff. The experts are saying a mask will help. It'll help you from spreading it to someone else. social distance, wash your hands, all that stuff. Throw it on so we can get back to look, so we can take the strain off these hospitals. So when you do mess around and get it, Mr. Non-Believer, there'll be a bed for you. How about that? Right? I put my mask on. I got two. When I go to work, I pull up and I throw the mask on. And I wear it all the way inside the building. We got a temperature reader. Checks your temperature and see if you got a mask on. And I have to wear my mask all the way to my desk. I get to my desk, I take it off. Ain't a tough guy thing. It's a consideration thing. And the latest story is that Trump's right-hand man, Rudy Giuliani, has coronavirus. And he's 70-some years old. I wish him the best. Sometimes you guys deserve what you get. I don't want him to be ill, like deathbed, taking up an ICU bed, but I want him to be crying on the floor in his bedroom ill. And then he bounces back after the inauguration, right? I want him to just see Jesus and then come on back. Right? Let that be a lesson to you. Get sick enough to where, oh man, I better believe in these experts. Medical experts, by the way. Infectious disease people who've been studying these types of things their whole career, get paid, right? Oh, God. If I had to say, well, they don't believe. It's the 99.8% survival rate. Well, you pick the 0.2% that you want to die, in your family and friends list and send them a message. You're going to die. Right? I also heard it's the flu. It's no worse than the flu. Flu season ends, people. You do know that, right? Flu season does end. This hasn't ended yet. It's supposed to end in the summer, remember? When that hot sun hits it, it's supposed to go away. Put some bleach on it. Some ultraviolet light. There's a hydrochloroquine. Huh? Put some tussin. Get the tussin. Stupid. Right? The flu season goes away. This thing is forever. Right? Vaccines are around the corner. You're going to be able to get a vaccine soon. We'll wait. I want version 2.5. But it's coming, and it's going to take 2 doses, what I heard, and you're going to be a little ill for a couple of days from one of them. This might be an ongoing thing where you have to get this shot every year. So you won't post it, but I guarantee you some of you will get that vaccine, but you've been screaming how fake it was all this time out of sheer fear. There's reports of nurses in North Dakota. They're treating these patients in the hospital who are on their deathbed, and they're still claiming that it's not real. I don't have the coronavirus as they're dying. Their last words is it's fake. Let me tell you something. If my last words on my deathbed are a quote from Donald Trump, shoot me. Unplug unplug the ventilator. Get me out of there. If I'm quoting Donald Trump as my cult leader. Stupid. We got to do better. Let's take care of each other. Take care of your loved ones and your friends. Look, some of you are coaches. Parents are great people. You're taking care of your kids. Good parents. Put a mask on. Be a good example for them. Don't make it hard. Teachers, if you're out here talking about it ain't real, I have to question your heart. Coaches, same thing, man. Put a mask on. That's all I'm asking. Because I want to go to the movies, selfishly. Mamacita loves to go to the beach. She wants to go back to the beach. We like to go out to eat dinner. We would like to be able to do that again. We like to go to Jimmy's restaurant. Get breakfast. Right? You guys want to get back to normal. Everybody wants to get back to normal. Let's reduce the strain and stress on the hospitals and the nurses and the doctors and the people that are taking care of us. Put on a mask, social distance, wash your hands. It's not really hard. To have a kind heart, a considerate heart. Parents are missing out on these school events. Kids can't go see this and can't see, graduation was ruined last year. Which leads me to another thing. You got a bunch of free time here during this pandemic. And we've talked about this, bettering yourself. What have you done to better yourself? Right? Someone in this family has decided to start his own business during a pandemic. It takes balls. Can I say that? Sorry. Huevos. Hold on. Guts. And I'm proud of him. It's what he wants to do. He's not going to quit his job. He's got a good job now, but he's going to side by side start his own thing. So he'll be his own boss. Shout out to him. As we get more information, we'll start plugging it. But that's exciting, man. To be your own boss. It takes a lot of oomph. And I've been saying all along, if you ain't getting better during this, look, you got free time out of the wazoo, right? How many times have you said before this started, I wish I had more time. Wish I had time to do this. Wish I had time to do that. You got time. You can't go nowhere. You can't go to the movies, can't go to the restaurants, can't go to the bars, can't go to the clubs, can't go to the beach. Oh, Lord. Can't do nothing. You got time to learn a new skill, pick up a new interest, start something new to make more money. Start that business you've been wanting to do to start, right? Ivy League schools were giving away free classes. Take some classes. Study up. If you like computers, go get you some skills, man. They got all kind of discounts on these certifications to change your path, to better yourself. You want to get out of a situation, man, now's the time to do it. You got time. You can't go anywhere. You shouldn't be going anywhere. You should be trying to lock it down so we can get back to normal. But in the meantime, man, get after it. I've developed some graphic skills, some podcasting skills. I'm working on it. I'm getting better. This overlay that I had to do for myself without Jeff or Tony or all three of us, I did this right before we started the podcast. Doesn't look too bad. Right? I'm just saying. You got plenty of time to better yourself. There's no reason for you to be stuck in a situation. I don't like my job. I would like some more education. I'd like to move up in my job. Plenty of opportunity. I'm not browbeating anybody. I'm just saying. I got 6 books I bought. I didn't buy. I haven't read them. I was going to read a book every other month. Didn't do it. But I've been working on podcasting, promoting it. Right? I learned how to, with the assistance from a friend, learn how to produce it and get it all hooked up to where it looks pretty. But on the back end, man, it looks rough. And I promote it. You see it all on the social media. That's me. We're putting it all together. Right? Sometimes we put together an idea of what we want to talk about. But most of the time we're shooting from the hip. But we're getting better. It's an interesting hobby. It's fun. We get to talk. Promote our families and friends and whatever and our likes. I've also, was gaming. I wanted to do that. This PC that we're doing here, the podcast on, I recorded on, is my gaming PC, but now it's a podcast PC. Almost everyone in our crew, in our circle of friends, has had some kind of come up during the pandemic. And it's not bragging. We're shouting each other out. We have a group text where we promote all these accomplishments. I got a new job within the same company with a promotion. Tony got to come up within the same company. Jeff's come up within his field. We've got other friends. I'm telling you. And if you measure yourself and use your time, you can do the same. Our LLC, we've stepped it up. We've ramped up contributions. We've began digging into finding properties and other investments. We've added a member who's invaluable in that real estate part of what we're going to do. Shout out to him for joining the group. But we're doing it, and you can do it too. Just got to put your mind to it. Hit that subscribe button. You see it? Like, share, follow on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. The podcast itself, audio-wise, can be heard on Anchor.fm, Google Podcasts, Amazon. You can enable the skill on your Alexa device. It's on iHeartRadio, Spotify, a whole bunch. Just about anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find us. What I want to talk about next, Christmas. My second favorite holiday. My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. Let me tell you something. I'm all turkeyed out. We had a fried turkey. We fried that bird up. Shout out to Jordy and Anthony. Fried that bird up. Mamacita made the stuffing and all the other extras. She helped me hook up the mac and cheese. We ate leftovers. And then I had a sandwich and I had this warmed up meat, regular, just another plate. And then Mamacita made, it's almost like a Spanish dish. She put some tomatoes and spices together and with some Mexican rice. And we had that for dinner. And I had the leftovers of that for lunch. I'm turkeyed out. Gobble, gobble. Until next year, daggone it. I can't take it. I got feathers all over the place on my back. I can't do no more turkey. Huh? Not even for Christmas. But you know, when you're grown, Christmas time, you can get your gifts, right? You can do your gifts whenever you want as a grown-up. I know what I'm getting, one of my gifts already. Sorry. Right? I know what I'm getting. From Mamacita. It's a great gift. I had it out and played with it and everything, and then I had to put it back. Did me dirty. But one of my gifts to her was to get her car windows tinted, and she had a speaker and an amp that needed to be hooked up to her stereo, so we got that hooked up. She got the boom boom with the reggaeton and the, what is it? Bachata. Yes. Yeah. She likes that. I was like, damn, make sure you turn it down when you pull into this parking lot, though, when we live, because they will be in your back seat taking your stuff. That's anywhere. Sounds good, looks good. And more to come. I love it. Huh? That's what I'm saying. There's more to come. You don't know what's coming either. Huh? We know what one gift is, but you don't know what mine is, and I don't know what the other one is you got from me. That's cool. But you know what else we ain't doing? A house full of decorations. Shout out to Jesse. Ha ha! Woo! Jesse sent that message out like in distress. Wife was buying for all the rooms. Oh, wait. I had to talk him down. Calm down, son. But I love Christmas. Look, we got Mamita and Papito. We did our thing already with the grandkids here. Huh? Six of them. One of them steals my nose. The other one puts ice cream on my belly. The other one walks around like Godzilla when we video FaceTime him. Huh? Then we got a musical one he's like the jokester of the crew. And then we got a couple of princesses. Huh? Well, yeah, two of them are really princesses, but the other one is my baby, and she rubs the ice cream. She got ice cream on her finger, and she rubbed it on my shirt because she didn't like it. She's the youngest. But they're all squared away with their Christmas gifts. Y'all done shopping already? December 6th. Ain't but about, what, 1 or 2 more paychecks? So many more shipping days left. You better get it done. Get it in. Right? I bought myself an early gift, though, for myself. I got my windows tinted when I did hers. And I got an Xbox. That's the Thanksgiving gift. They do that? They do Thanksgiving gifts? Huh? I got that new Xbox. This gave me some problems at the beginning. I had the wrong games installed. So evidently you can't move over your old Xbox One games to the Xbox X games because there's Xbox X games specifically for the Xbox X. So it was causing problems where I would play a game and it would cut off. I was getting mad. But now it's fixed. Huh? Now we can play together. We back on that Call of Duty thing, man. Come see us on Call of Duty, man. Hit me up. Hit me up on Facebook. Get some Battle Royale quads and some plunder. Plunder. Huh? You ready for Christmas?
I'm ready for Christmas.
Yeah, she's ready. I'm ready for Christmas, man. For it to be over. The other thing I like about Christmas is all the days off, right? You're gonna get that day off. Sometimes it's a half day on Christmas Eve, and you're gonna get that day of Christmas, and then the next week you're gonna get New Year's, and I'm gonna take that week in between off. I need that break. And I'm gonna take it. And I might double up and do. Look, I've been saying we need to do this podcast twice a week, but cats out here, we so busy sometimes, it's hard to do. And I know I don't want to do it by myself anymore. I don't know, look, I look up. I don't know if I want to say I look up to. I don't know him like that to look up to him. Plus, I'm older than him. But I admire Bomani Jones and his podcast, The Right Time, on ESPN. And he does an hour twice a week. Sometimes he talks to his producer and get a little time for this producer, but not much. And then that second interview is usually a guest is on the show joining him. So that's a lot easier, right? Because now you're doing half the talking. If I get Tony in here, he loves to talk. So I don't probably have to do half the talk with his big mouth. And then when Jeff jumps in there, I got to do less talking. I'm going to tell you suckers right now, y'all better start getting your things together and quit skipping out. I'm going to start flunking cats. You be held back. You be in the ninth grade again, Tony. You keep missing these podcasts. Jeff, you too. You're an educator. You better be here. Have me doing all this work. Huh? I'll send you a bill. I need some PTO from the podcast. They got me working all hard, doing it twice in one night because of technical difficulties and whatnot. Whew. We had dinner. I left, came back after eating dinner. Watched Ball in the Family. The Ball brothers. Huh? She loves that guy. Bought that dude a Maybach for his birthday. Shoo! Don't get much better than that. When you gonna buy me a Maybach? Yeah, Poppy, I love you too.
I try my best.
I know. Romance without finance is a damn nuisance. I want a Maybach too. Huh? LeVar Ball got a Maybach. Jeez, OP. Y'all seen that Maybach? Whew. Yeah. But I love you. That's the same as quality. Right? Every time we talk about buying a new piece of technology in this house, I go with the old. That's a reasonable price. Let's get that. She goes with them. But what about this one? And it's like 10 times more expensive.
Not a lot like that.
10 times more expensive. And then the argument is quality, Poppy. And let me tell you something. This last one, I fought it for a while, but then I gave in. And when we got the product and had it installed and I then used it, it is worth the money that was spent. The quality was worth it. You were right on that one. I don't say that a lot.
You're happy.
I love it. It sounds good. It sounds real good.
Really good.
It sounds real good. I would do a recommendation. Man, let's get a promo. I don't know. Advertising from Sonos. Sonos bought your speakers. Your sound bar, your little bass, your little woofer, your little subwoofer, and two of the little ones to sit down there for surround sound. Yeah, man, it sounds great. Watched the movie on that bad boy. Dude shot an RPG. We both looked left to right because that's how the RPG went through in the movie, left to right. We were like, what the heck's going on? For the first week or so, we kept looking at the window Thinking somebody was tapping on the window. It was a movie. Sonos. Go buy Sonos for Christmas. Hey, your husband, boyfriend, whatever, girlfriend, some of your girlfriends, they'll love that Sonos speaker. Sonos, can we get any advertising? Want to advertise on the Getaway podcast with Tony and Sean? Special guest Jeff, Eva, technical assistant. Sonos speakers. You'll love the sound. Hey, how about that? I can do the voiceover. You don't have to pay us. Let me do the voiceover. Huh? Whew. Let me tell you something. This is not easy. I should have called one of my friends who said they would like to come on the show. Victor, I should have called you. Eric, who said he didn't want to come on, but he likes to give me heck on Facebook talking about I got something wrong. Should have called you to get on the podcast. It made it a little easier. Have a buddy to bounce these ideas off of and talk that junk with. We've been talking that stuff with them guys forever, and Eric even longer. I got to get you guys on the podcast. One of these days, don't be afraid. Do not be afraid of it. There's no sense in it. I think I'm ready. I am ready. The movie, look, everyone wants to talk about the movie we watched. We watched Tenet with John David Washington.
Yes, it's a good movie.
It was really good. She said it was a good movie. It was really good. The graphics were good. The CGI was great. The story was good. And it was so good we watched it twice. Why did we watch it twice? Not only was it good, but it was also a little confusing for me and her. Because the story is like moving forward and backwards at the same time. So we watched it twice, and I got a little better understanding the second time. But he did a great job, man. John David Washington, the son of Denzel. He was in Ballers with The Rock on HBO. Did a great job. Had some fight scenes in there. Had some serious acting scenes in there, man. Look, it was real good. I gave it an A-. No, I gave it an A. It was really, really good. I didn't give it an A+ because it was so confusing at times. Old dude had to rewind it. Like, what? What just happened? And then when you watch it the second time, you're like, yep, now it makes sense. It's one of those kind of movies. Where you watch it the second time, you're like, yeah, I see it now. I see that, and I see that, yeah. And it happened within the first 5 minutes the second time. I was like, oh, now I see it. Something that you don't see until the end, but then you had to put it together, and then by the time you put it together, it was already over. And then when you watch it the second time, boom, there it is. That's Sean's review. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, man. That's what I give it. With the great speaker, yeah. Get the Sonos speakers, man. They play with the Sonos speakers. It's gonna be even better, son. What? Yo, I did it. Hey, look, I had to do it twice. We had to do it 3 times. Mamacita was cooking, helping with the technical stuff. I was over here cussing, 45 minutes of what I just gave you, and then it cut off. 15 minutes of what I just gave you, and then it cut off again. Then I ate dinner, and I came back because I fixed it, and now I'm presenting it to you. To the world. I get my homies to show up on a regular basis. There'll be no more skipping school, man. You're gonna hold your feet to the fire, man. If people want to see your face, want to hear your voices, Jeff, Tony. They want to see you suffer when your team loses. They want to see you suffer when I am right about some things. They want to see me eat that popcorn on this podcast within the next couple weeks, huh? Yeah, son. We enjoy you listening. We enjoy you watching. We enjoy the feedback. Also, shout out to Coach Bartley. He started his own podcast. It's about football. Go look him up. Slobber Knockers and Game Wreckers. Thought I wasn't going to remember it, but I remembered it. And the second episode had defensive coordinator from Stebbins High School, whoop, whoop, Coach Gaskin on there. League champ, playoff game-winning defensive coordinator. See you next week. Say words, son.